Hi there, future accountants. Welcome back. And this time we're going to have a new activity or a new topic to learn. And before that, let me introduce myself again. My name is Shikaina Estofiasa, and I am your co-accounting partner. So I hope that you're all doing good. So this time, I just want you to sit back, relax, and be excited for our new discussion. So before we proceed to our main topic for today, let's have refreshing or like refresh your stock knowledge there in accounting. So I'm going to present to you definitions, and you're going to guess the correct accounting term that relates to this scenario. So first we have, are we all excited? Let's dive in. So first definition, we have the price the government could get for its rice harvest if it's sold today. So what do you call the price the government could get for its rice harvest if it sold it today? Think of it in 5 seconds. Five, four, three, two, and one. So I hope you have an answer. Ready? The fair value. So what is what we call the price of the government for an asset if it's sold today. So this is what we have the uh, time or the time market, time fair market value. So this will be a timely basis. So the price that is sold today will not be the same as the price that will be sold in the future. So what we call the price that if it's sold today is the fair value or the fair market value. Next is what do you call the recording that the government owes money for fertilizer even before it's paid? The recording that the government owes money for fertilizer even before it's paid. So what do you call this one? So the key term is owes money. So I'm gonna five, four, three, two, and one. So the answer is obligation. It's something you have, so you owe something. It's like a liability or an obligation to pay for that specific uh, product or item or asset or anything that you own. So next is, it is the government's promise to pay farmers for the rice they delivered. What do you call the government's promise to pay farmers for the rice they delivered? In five, four, three, two, and one. So the answer is procurement. That's what we call the government's promise to pay to the farmers or so someone for the rice they deliver. Procurement. I hope we are familiarized already with this accounting term because this is all from the basics of the definitions of terms as part of the accounting. So let's proceed to the next definition. We have the government owned stocks of rice stored waiting to be distributed to families. It is the government owned stocks of rice stored waiting to be distributed to families. So the key term for this one, it is available for use. So very easy. I I think you already know the answer. Then five, four, three, two, and one. The answer is inventory. As the key term for an inventory is the asset is available for use. So when you stored an asset, so it will be in the future or in the recent time for an accounting, it is available for use. So next definition, it is the government's structure the gradually losing value as it gets older. So what do you call if the government structure gradually losing its value as it gets older? So the key word is the value will lose as it gets older. So the answer is in five, four, three, two, one. Depreciation. The depreciation is simply means that if an asset will lose its values as it gets older. That's why we have what we call the useful life of an equipment or of that particular asset. So next is the government's rice crop being damaged by a flood. The government's rice crop being damaged by a flood. So what accounting term that best describes this scenario? So the key, let me give you a clue. What do you call an asset if it gets or damaged? If it gets damaged. So the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we have impairment or the impairment of assets. So next and the last question is what term describes the government's involvement in farming, forestry, and animal husbandry requiring careful tracking of funds and resources to ensure transparency and accountability? So just like on the image, the cat is thinking for the right answer. What would be the right answer for this? What would be the best answer? So this answer will says about our topic for today in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So our topic for today is all about agriculture. Agriculture and government accounting. So this topic is we can find it on the book of Accounting for Government and Nonprofit Organization or the course where that is PRE0. This is Shikaina and I am will be your reporter for today. So what is agriculture? Agriculture is the practice of farming, producing crops and raising animals. It highlights that the chapter will discuss the accounting treatment for agricultural produce including recording assets, liabilities, income, and agriculture expenses arising from these activities. So let's proceed for our next slide. So what is agriculture? As it mentioned, it means farming or the process of producing crops and raising livestock as it goes well today. The next is in agriculture we have the agricultural activity. So it is the management by an entity of the biological transformation and harvest of biological assets for sale, including exchange or non-exchange transactions or for conversion into agricultural produce or into additional biological assets. It provides the official definition of agricultural activity as the management of biological transformation and harvest of biological assets for sale or further use. It emphasizes that agriculture includes both exchange and non-exchange transactions. And up next. So in agricultural activity, here are some examples. So first we have the raising livestock, forestry, annual or perennial cropping, cultivating orchards and plantations, floriculture, and aquaculture, which includes fish farming. So these are just some examples if you want to own an agricultural business in the future. If you want to become a business or an entrepreneur, we have this example. If you want to own a farm where you can raise livestock, you can uh, raise both plants and farming is also mentioned. So that's a very good, actually, this is a very one of the great uh, high profit business, which is in agriculture. So next we have the common features in agriculture activity. So we have three in these pictures. The first we have the capability to change, second is the management of change, and third is the measurement of change. The first is the capability to change. It is living animals and plants are capable of biological transformation. Simply means that living plants and animals can grow or reproduce. Second is the management of change. For example, harvesting from unmanaged sources such as ocean fishing and deforestation is not agricultural activity because entities actively manage and control biological changes, which also includes us. We can also manage the changes of the biological asset. If we mismanage of an asset, like just go fish there, illegal fishing in aquaculture, or like deforestation. If we mismanage of handling our crops, of taking care of our crop, of course it will get damaged. So it it really affects the management of change of an asset. So third is the measurement of change. It is the quality, it is a change in quality or quantity brought about by biological transformation or harvest is measured and monitored as a routine management function. So when we talk about measurement of change, a biological transformation must be monitored and measured regularly. Of course, it should be measured regularly so that we can, uh, so we can be able to, so that we will be able to inform and identify if our business is growing or not. That's just the next is the biological transformation. So uh, this is the following process that cause qualitative or quantitative changes in biological assets. So we have 2 points in this one. The asset changes through growth, procreation, and degeneration. So it says about growth, assets changes through an increase in quantity or improvement of quality of an animal or plant. And second is the creation of additional living animals or plants. Or when we talk about procreation, it is the creation of new offspring. And third is the degeneration or the decline in quality or quantity. And when we talk about biological transformation, of course, the production of agricultural produce. So, what is biological asset? So, biological asset is any living animal or plants. So, in the picture, we have a bull, a field of crops. What do you call this? In the Philippines, we call this abaca, or like a dried crops, and the cutie little plants are seedlings. So these are examples of biological assets. So any biological assets you can think of, the trees, the coconut trees, the pine trees, that's the common biological assets in the Philippines when we talk about industries and the fishing. The next is the agricultural produce. So agricultural produce is the harvested product of the entity's biological assets. So we call about harvest. It is the detachment of produce from a biological asset or the cessation of biological assets life process. So when we plant something, when we sow something, of course you will reap something. Also because will be harvest something. And that is an agricultural produce. It's very understandable. Yes, it is. So here are the examples of the process of agriculture. So first we have the biological assets, agricultural produce, and products that are the result of processing after harvest. So in biological assets, it's trees in the plantation forest. The trees in the plantation forest can be felled trees that is agriculture produce. And what will be the product or the result of that process after harvest? So we can have the logs and the lumber, which will also be used for the constructions of cabins and houses and shelters. Next is plants. And agricultural produced plants is either harvest palay, harvested cane, corn, or cotton. So in that, agricultural produce will be able to manufacture or have products which result to rice, sugar, corn flour, cornstarch, thread, and clothing. Next is the dairy cattle. It produces milk and it produces milk produces cheese. So milk is one of the major ingredients for the production of cheese. Next is sheep. Sheep. What does the sheep produce? It produces wool. That the wool can be manufactured into yarn or carpet. Next is pigs. Pigs produce carcass. So what is carcass? It is can manufactured to sausages and cured hams that we eat on our daily basis or our breakfast. Kids love this. Next is the bushes. Bushes creates or produces leaves, and through that leaf we can have our tea or cured tobacco. Next is the vines. Vines produces grapes, and grapes produces or manufactured or processed wine. Next is the fruit trees. Fruit trees are like apples, mangoes, or any trees, anyone that can pick it right from its fruit or right from its tree. So pick fruit. Pick fruit examples of coconut trees, apples, mangoes, bananas, durians, which famous in the Philippines. And to that, we can process that fruit, which produces candies and other products that we can sell on our tourists, or that is very famous in tourism. Next is measurement. So biological assets are initially and subsequently measured at fair value less cost to sell. The gain or loss arising from initial measurement is the frequent changes in fair value less cost to sell are recognized in surplus or deficit. Biological assets whose fair value cannot be reliably determined on initial recognition are initially measured at cost and subsequently measured at cost less accumulated depreciation and accumulated impairment losses. So agricultural produce is initially measured at fair value less cost to sell at the point of harvest. This will be the deemed cost when subsequently measuring the agricultural produce using the measurement basis for inventories and other bases. The gain arising from the initial measurement is recognized in surplus or deficit in demand or supply of an agricultural produce. So how will we be able to determine the fair value of that agricultural produce? So we have a formula here. So fair value is determined as follow: quoted price in an active market less transport costs, which uh, equals to fair value. It's something that mentioned the fair value less cost to sell. The active market is a market in which the following consists of this: the items traded in the market are homogeneous, willing buyers and sellers can normally be found at any time, and prices are available for the public. So how to be able to determine the fair value of an agricultural produce? First, when there is an active market. Second is an active market is a market where the products being sold are similar or identical, buyers and sellers are easily available, prices can be seen publicly. So the major example for this one is the public market. When we go to a public market, we can see a lot of vendors that sells the same products. So we'll be able to identify the fair market value of that specific fruit. For example, in the Philippines, we can buy an apple that is 30 pesos each. So in other vendors, it also sold 30 pesos each. So formula quoted price in active market less transport cost. Example: if cattle is sell is or sold for 100,000 pesos in the market and it costs 50,000 to transport them, the fair value is 950,000. If multiple markets exist, use the market price that the entity expects to use for selling. So when there is no active market, if there's no open market with readily available prices, the entity must estimate the fair value using one of these methods. First is the most recent market transaction, second is the market prices for similar assets, and third is the sector benchmark. It's like the price per tray of eggs, the price per kilogram of meat, the price per bushel of grain, or the option 4 is it represents the value of expected cash flow. It's like the estimate the for future income and the assets will generate and discount it to today's value using a current market rate. It includes costs such as replanting trees or maintaining animals that will be used when no active prices are available. So in summary, fair value is determined in step-by-step way. So first choice, use active market prices. If not available, estimate using recent transactions, similar market prices, industry benchmarks, or discounted expected cash flows. This ensures that biological assets and produce are valued as accurately as possible in financial reports. So that's how we're able to determine a fair value. So next is the disclosures. Said about disclosures, the aggregate gain or loss on initial recognition of biological assets and agricultural produce, and from the change in the fair value less cost to sell of a biological asset. Second, it's the consumable and bearer biological assets and biological assets held for sale and held for distribution at no charge or for a nominal charge. Third is the mature and immature biological assets. And fourth, the amount of change and fair value less cost to sell due to physical changes and due to price changes. So what is consumable biological assets? So these are the assets that to be harvested as agricultural produce or to be sold or distributed as biological assets. So for example, livestock intended for production of meat, annual crops like maize and rice, and trees being grown for lumber. So that's examples of consumable biological assets. So next is the bearer biological assets. So these um, are those that are self-generating and are used repeatedly for more than 1 year. Examples of bearer biological assets are dairy cattle held for the production of milk, fruit trees, and trees from which firewood is harvested while the tree remains. Are we clear? Let's proceed. Mature biological assets are those that have attained harvestable specifications for consumable biological assets or are able to sustain regular harvests for bearer biological assets. So here is the illustration. So the first example is the NDDA purchased 5 breeding stocks at 3,000 pesos each, equal to the fair value less cost to sell. At the acquisition date, the journal entry is as follows. To the date of the transaction, we have is to debit the breeding stocks and credit the cash in bank, local currency, current account. So breeding stocks is equal to 15,000. So how did we get the 15,000? Of course, the breeding stocks is amounting to 3,000 each, and we have 5 breeding stocks. So 5 times 3 is equals 15. That's the 15,000. And second example, if the 10 breeding stocks are born, the FBLS on date of birth is 2,000 each. The journal entry is as follows. Breeding stocks, debit breeding stocks, 20,000. Credit, gain on initial recognition of biological assets, 20,000. So that's it, for example. On illustration 2, on January 1, 20X1, entity has 5 2-year-old breeding stocks with total clearing amount of 25,000. The following transactions occurred during the period. First, on July 1, 20X1, 10 breeding stocks were born. So the FBLS on this date is 2,000 pesos each. Second, on July 1, 20X1, 2 year Two 2-year-old breeding stocks were purchased for 5,100 pesos each, equal to the FBLS of this date. Next is on December 1 or December 31, 20X1, 3 breeding stocks were born. The FBLS on this date is 2,100 pesos each. So here's the example. Here's the illustration. The APLS on December 31, 20X1 are as follows. The age and the fair value less cost to sell. A newborn is amounting to 2,100 pesos each. 0.5-year-old is 2,150 pesos each. And 2 years old is 5,200 pesos. 2.5 years old is 5,400 pesos. 3 years old is 5,700 pesos. So requirement compute for the change in FPLS due to price change and due to physical change. So first we have the example of a price change and the physical change. And that is the illustration for the examples of and uh, how we will be compute the agricultural produce using its fair value. And next, you see me. Next is the illustration and how we will be able to get the prices or the changes of the agricultural produce due to the price change and due to the physical change. Due to the price change and the physical change. So it first is the price change based on the price change. Yeah, the price change. So that is the example for the agricultural produce. So for the last data chapter 8 summary, the biological asset is a living animal or plant. Agricultural produce is the harvested product of the entity's biological assets. And agricultural produce subjected to post-harvest processing is inventory. Biological assets are initially and typically measured at fair value less cost to sell. Gain or loss arising from measurement unrecognized in surplus or deficit. Agricultural produce is initially measured at fair value less cost to sell at the point of harvest. The fair value is equal to the quoted price in an active market less transferred cost. If there are more than one active market, the entity shall use the price in the market expected to be used. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something and goodbye.